government statisticians that are usually here.
For the White House, it seems that public enemy number one is data.
The guardrails are gone.
Amy O'Hara is a research professor at Georgetown's Massive Data Institute and the president of the Association of Public Data Users. She used to work at the U.S. Census Bureau.
These institutions that have systems in place to provide reliable data about our workforce, about labor in the United States, there was a leader at the helm of that organization that was just using data input, using existing protocols, providing information as they always did. And because the numbers were apparently politically inconvenient, that person was told that they cooked the books and they could no longer serve in that role.
O'Hara says that the White House has also shuttered advisory committees,
which were the channel people used to understand updates in methodology or new products coming out or the discontinuation of other products. That has been shut down. So all of those advisory committees, including an important one called FESAC about federal economic statistics, is one of the ones that were shut down. They produce numbers that people now scratch their head and say, what is the accuracy of that number? Can I rely on that number?
But that's a key component to the president's fact eradication project. Convince Americans not to trust numbers or anything else.
Why should anybody trust numbers?
We have to fight an uphill battle against all these accusations which were trying to undermine our credibility.
Andreas Georgiou is a visiting lecturer and scholar in statistics at Amherst College. In 2010, he became head of the first independent statistical agency in Greece, Elstat, which then issued a report showing Greece's huge deficit was even worse than previously reported. In fact, the deficit, as a percent of the GDP, which is roughly defined as the value of all goods and services a country produces during a specific time, had reached completely unsustainable levels.
It reached 15.4% of GDP.
Members of the EU are required never to exceed 3%.
And the debt increased by 11.7% of GDP, which meant that the debt to GDP ratio for Greece reached 126.8% of GDP. This, of course, meant that the fiscal picture was even worse than anticipated.
This at a time when Greece was already in a major debt crisis. All this landed very hard on the people of Greece. The unemployment rate passed 25% in the following years. Since the deficit was so out of control, Greece had to adopt tough austerity measures. Rising politicians in Greece, seeking a scapegoat,
rallied around the idea that the statistical office had put Greece in the eye of the hurricane. The prosecutor for economic crimes began a preliminary criminal investigation against me on the basis of statements that were made by various people, including politicians. The theory was that Greece was somehow subject to some conspiracy and that statistics had played a role in that.